The United Kingdom is in turmoil. A political earthquake has shaken the very foundation of the country, disrupting the centuries-old balance between government and monarchy. Before we dive in, I have a small favour to ask. If you're enjoying this content, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Believe it or not, over 98% of viewers watch without hitting that subscribe button. It's completely free and makes a huge difference, helping us bring you more of the content you love. Now, back to the crisis. Prime Minister Starmer has made a move so bold, so unprecedented, it has left the entire nation stunned. His decision is a direct challenge to King Charles, a move that breaks royal tradition and has sparked outrage across the political spectrum. For generations, the UK has operated under a constitutional monarchy, with the King serving as a symbolic figurehead to ensure stability and continuity in governance. But Starmer's actions have upended that delicate balance, triggering what could become the most significant political crisis of modern times. Instead of strengthening his leadership, Starmer has ignited a firestorm. The public is furious. Political rivals are seizing the moment to challenge Labour's control, and even members of Starmer's own party are questioning his leadership. At the heart of it all, King Charles himself is reportedly deeply unsettled, possibly preparing to intervene, a move that could reshape British politics forever. So, what exactly has Starmer done? Why is this move being called a historic mistake? And how could it lead to a dramatic shift in national leadership? This isn't just a political miscalculation, it's a moment that could redefine Britain's future. Let's break it down. For years, the monarchy and government have operated under an unspoken agreement. The King stays politically neutral, while the Prime Minister and Parliament respect the monarchy's symbolic authority. But Starmer's recent actions are being seen as a direct challenge to that balance. Insiders at Westminster have revealed a string of controversial moves that have left Buckingham Palace blindsided. This includes bypassing the King on key state decisions. Historically, the British monarch is consulted on major national matters, even without legislative power, to ensure the monarchy retains its symbolic role in governance. However, Starmer's administration has reportedly started cutting the King out of these discussions, making high-level decisions without even informing Buckingham Palace. This effectively reduces the monarchy's presence in government affairs. Traditionally, the royal family plays a ceremonial role in key government events, symbolising unity and stability. Under Starmer, though, their presence at major state functions has noticeably declined. Invitations for royal participation in government proceedings have allegedly been reduced, signalling an intentional effort to sideline the monarchy. Rumours also suggest that Starmer's government is planning legislative moves to further weaken royal influence. This could involve redefining the King's advisory role, limiting ceremonial duties, and transferring historic royal responsibilities to the Prime Minister's office. In essence, Starmer seems determined to push the monarchy toward near total irrelevance, an unprecedented move in modern British history. But what he didn't expect was the scale of the backlash. Speculation is mounting about how King Charles might respond. Even a subtle intervention could mark a turning point in British politics. A carefully worded statement expressing concern could seriously damage Starmer's credibility, and if the crisis escalates, a stronger response from the monarchy cannot be ruled out. As tensions rise, the UK stands at a crossroads. Will Starmer hold on to power, or will public and political backlash force him out? Will the monarchy remain silent, or will King Charles step in and change the course of history? One thing is clear: this political firestorm is far from over. The next few weeks could determine not only Starmer's fate, but the future of Britain. The United Kingdom now stands on the edge of a historic transformation. Labour is collapsing, Reform UK is rising, and the monarchy finds itself at the centre of one of the biggest political showdowns in recent memory. The biggest question is, will King Charles step in? If he does, it could mark the beginning of the end for Starmer. If he remains silent, the crisis could spiral even further out of control. One thing is certain, this moment will go down in history. Behind the grand walls of Buckingham Palace, a silent but powerful battle is unfolding. While the monarchy has long projected unity, insiders suggest deep divisions are forming over how to respond to Starmer's unprecedented actions. Some members, including Queen Camilla and Prince William, are reportedly urging the king to take a stronger stance. They warn that if the Prime Minister weakens the monarchy without resistance, it could set a dangerous precedent. In their view, future leaders might go even further, perhaps even challenging the very existence of the crown. Others within the royal circle are calling for caution. Senior palace advisors reportedly warn Charles against any public move that could appear as direct political interference. They fear that a misstep could backfire, giving Starmer the perfect excuse to further diminish royal powers under the guise of protecting democracy. Yet nearly everyone in the royal family seems to agree on one thing. This isn't just about tradition. It's about power, survival, and the very identity of Britain itself. If King Charles stays silent, will history remember him as the monarch who let the crown be weakened beyond recognition? Or as the one who rose to defend the institution his ancestors preserved for centuries? As Starmer's grip on power weakens, whispers of rebellion grow louder, not just from the public, but from powerful figures within the political establishment. Senior Conservative Party officials are reportedly holding emergency strategy meetings, planning not only to discredit Starmer, but to push for an early general election that could return the Conservatives to power. But they're not the only ones making moves in the shadows. Even within Labour, dissent is reaching dangerous levels. Multiple MPs, including some of Starmer's closest allies, are now discussing whether he should be forced out before dragging the entire party down with him. Some are even secretly exploring alliances with opposition figures, alliances that would have been unthinkable just months ago. One senior Labour MP, speaking anonymously, reportedly said, "Starmer thought he could reshape Britain overnight, but he underestimated the backlash. We are watching our party unravel. The United Kingdom is at a tipping point, and if action isn't taken soon, it may be too late." The question now is, who will make the first move? Will the Conservatives push for Starmer's immediate downfall, or will Labour rebels turn on their own leader to save themselves? One thing is clear, the clock is ticking, and Starmer's days in power may be numbered. History has shown that when governments ignore the will of the people, the consequences can be catastrophic. From the English Civil War to protests that shaped modern Britain, the British people have never stayed silent when their traditions and identity were under threat. Now, with Starmer's actions fueling unprecedented public outrage, many are asking, could Britain be on the verge of a modern political uprising? Large-scale protests are already sweeping the nation, and some activist groups are calling for more extreme measures. Talk of nationwide strikes, mass boycotts of Labour-backed policies, and even demands for a referendum to strengthen the monarchy are growing louder. Critics are comparing this moment to Brexit, arguing that just as the British people rejected EU control, they may now rise to defend their monarchy from government overreach. The most startling reports suggest that military veterans, former civil servants, and even some active members of the police are quietly showing support for the king. While there's no organised movement yet, the fact that insiders within the system are expressing concern should be a major warning for Starmer's government. The big question is, how far will the British people go to protect their traditions? And if the government refuses to listen, could this escalate into something far larger than anyone expects? The world is watching Britain's crisis unfold, and international reactions have been swift and divided. Countries with strong historical ties to the UK, like Canada and Australia, are monitoring the situation closely, aware that weakening the monarchy could ripple through their own political systems. Meanwhile, the United States has taken a more cautious stance, with officials declining public comment. But analysts believe American diplomats are quietly tracking the potential impact on global alliances. European reactions are split. In France, commentators praise the idea of reducing monarchical influence, while in Germany, some lawmakers argue Britain's turmoil signals the decline of constitutional monarchies. This global divide raises an urgent question. If tensions escalate, will Britain's allies defend the monarchy or watch as centuries of tradition are reshaped? At this historic crossroads, the choices made in the coming weeks will define not only this government, but the future of British identity itself. Will King Charles break his silence and take a stand? Will Starmer withstand mounting pressure, or will he be forced out by his own party? And most importantly, will the British people accept these changes, or rise up to protect their monarchy? One thing is certain. This is far more than a political dispute. This is a moment that will be studied in history books for generations. Now, we turn it over to you. Should the king intervene or stay out of politics? Is this the beginning of Labour's downfall, or can Starmer hold on? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to stay updated on this historic political battle, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with everyone who needs to hear the truth.